Well, good morning, everybody. It's a wet morning. It's just gone about 8:20. I think I woke up about 10 to 8, and I think it started raining maybe about 7 o'clock, something like that. It was a little bit before I woke up. I've had one tea. I'm going to have a breakfast. I might just have enough water for 2 more teas. I've got some in there. I've got that there, so I've probably just about got enough. It's funny, sometimes when I decant water into bottles from streams and rivers and things, it's like yesterday morning I was tipping out a load of water. I think one of the things is, I probably put a bit less in my bottles. And here, because we're near that track again, I've secured Bella with her lead just in case any. I don't think much is going to go past at the moment, but just to be on the safe side, I don't want her charging up there, and I can't get there in time to stop her when I'm in my sleeping bag. So I've got her secured, but then of course I've got to put water in her bowl, and I think she's tipped it over twice. Of course that uses up water, so that doesn't help. But yeah, it was a very nice sleep. I will admit I did take a Nitol, which I think helps, but I'm not sure if I got a drip. I don't know, because I haven't actually tested this in the rain. I can see, because this, I don't think this was sealed by Ron. I think this was sealed by the person that had bought this before me. So this is the nylon cricket. Yeah, there's definitely, whoever sealed this before I got it, which I say I don't think was Ron, and it wasn't the person I bought it from. There's definitely a few it's dripping from here. There's a drip there, and I can see there's drips there. I can see there's drips there. I know my seam sealing isn't the neatest and the tidiest. There's drips. This whole seam here, has got drips on it. There. So whoever sealed this before hasn't done a particular. I know sometimes I don't get it 100% right, and I might find one tiny bit here or there, but it's interesting really, because this is like an interesting experiment of using a used or half used MLD shelter. So because I was a little bit concerned about it, I did bring some seam sealant with me, but we're going soon, so I'm not going to worry about it. But I was, I think most of the other seams seem okay, but I'm not sure what I'll do with this one, to be honest. I might, because I really only got it because I wanted to compare it to the Sil Poly. So really I'll get the Sil Poly one out again and sort of have another pitch and play with that, and I'll have to decide whether because as I said, I didn't buy this new. I got this. I'll have to decide whether to sell it on or keep it. I don't know. We'll see on that. But yeah, there's definitely a few. I think just generally, probably most of it will need going over again. Maybe not all of it. But alright, I think my porridge will be ready to have in a minute. The important thing is it's not dripping all over me. There's one drip here which seems to be coming from somewhere. I'm not sure. But there's definitely a patch appearing here of wet. I'm not going to worry about it now. I'm going to have my porridge and we will catch up later. There's a few drips there and there's a few drips there, so I'm not quite sure where they're coming from. Coming in from up there. And there's some drips there. Yeah. If you seem to see all these things, either watch Ron's videos or watch mine. I know I do seam sealing a bit more ad hoc. There's a drip there. A bit more ad hoc than many, but I don't get all this drippiness. I had a feeling that it might leak, because when I looked at it on the outside the other week, I could see that some of the stitching hadn't been done. So I'm not surprised actually that it's leaking. You've really got on the outside, obviously, but you've really got to rub I mean, that whole seam is quite wet. And it's obviously not condensation. I mean, there is some condensation, but obviously this is rain getting in on that seam. So I'm kind of glad it didn't rain much this trip. That's the dog. That's a drippy dog. I've got a bloody bed there for her too. Anyway, we're doing fine here. I'll have another tea. Chris is going to have his breakfast and then we'll start to pack up.